Machiavelli once taught that appearances often matter more than reality. And when it comes to confidence, nothing is more powerful than the appearance of indifference. You can work for years to build strength, wealth, or status. But if you can't master the art of being nonchalant, you'll always look like you're chasing approval. And those who chase are never respected. But the one who is calm, detached, and unmoved, that person is feared, respected, even desired. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why being nonchalant isn't just a trick. It's the ultimate Machiavellian weapon of true confidence. Machiavelli wrote that men judge more with their eyes than with their hands. People don't see your soul, they see how you carry yourself. And nothing creates more power in the eyes of others than the aura of someone who simply does not need them. Think about it. The king who appears desperate for loyalty loses it. The lover who clings too tightly is abandoned. The leader who begs for respect is mocked. But the one who seems detached, the one who carries himself as if nothing could disturb him, that man is followed, not out of pity, but out of awe. Nonchalance is not laziness, it is strategy. It is the decision to show the world that you are unshaken no matter what. Why nonchalance commands? Respect. Human beings are wired to chase what they cannot easily have. Scarcity creates value. When you are too available, you become ordinary. When you react to every insult, every opinion, every small slight, you reveal weakness. But when you are nonchalant, when you act as though you could take or leave anything in this world, people lean in closer. They begin to wonder, what does he know that I don't? Why is he so calm when everyone else is restless? That curiosity turns into fascination. That fascination turns into respect. This is why the most respected men throughout history had an aura of detachment. They seemed untouched by gossip, unbothered by rejection, unmoved by flattery. They gave the impression that they were above the noise of ordinary men, the trap of overreaction. Machiavelli warned that rulers must never show weakness. And in our world, weakness shows in overreaction. The man who explodes in anger at an insult reveals his insecurity. The one who floods someone's phone with messages reveals his desperation. The one who tries to prove he's confident is proving the opposite. The truth? Truly confident people don't need to prove anything. They let others do the guessing. Nonchalance is the ultimate proof of strength, because silence, calmness, and stillness require control. The art of controlled distance. Here's the part most people miss. Nonchalance doesn't mean ignoring life. It means you engage, but always on your terms. In conversation, you don't rush to fill the silence. You let others stumble, waiting for your words. In relationships, you give attention, but never so much that you seem dependent. In conflict, you stand firm, but never flinch, because the moment you flinch, the mask of power breaks. Nonchalance is not withdrawal, it is controlled distance. Enough closeness to keep people wanting more. Enough distance to keep them from ever thinking they control you. This balance is what Machiavelli would call the illusion of mastery. You don't need to control people directly. You only need to control their perception of you. The secret most never learn. The world will tell you that confidence is about being bold, loud, or dominant. That's wrong. The greatest confidence is silence. The greatest strength is calmness. The greatest authority is shown not in chasing, but in waiting. Machiavelli knew this. He who needs less controls more. And that is why nonchalance is the crown jewel of confidence. It is the invisible power that makes others respect you, desire you, and sometimes even fear you without you lifting a finger. Part 2. How nonchalance creates power over other. If Part 1 revealed why nonchalance is the ultimate display of confidence, Part 2 reveals how it quietly bends people to your will. Because here's the truth. People don't only respect nonchalance, they become obsessed with it. They can't stop thinking about the one who doesn't rush, doesn't chase, and doesn't care whether they stay or leave. And if you can embody this, you'll never have to beg for influence again. Others will hand it to you. The psychology of wanting what you can't have. From kings to commoners, human nature has never changed. We desire what resists us. Machiavelli understood that the chase itself creates power. A ruler who makes himself too familiar loses authority. A lover who showers attention too freely loses allure. This is the paradox. The more you show need, the less people need you. But the moment you withdraw, the moment you act as if you could vanish without care, others begin to cling. Your value is not in what you give freely, but in what you withhold. Why nonchalance feeds obsession? Imagine two men. The first responds instantly to every message, every call. He drops everything to please. He explains himself endlessly, hoping to prove his worth. The second man? He answers when it suits him. He speaks less, but with weight. He does not justify himself because he does not feel the need. Who commands more respect? Who is remembered at night? It is always the one who seems harder to reach. Not because he is cruel, but because he carries himself as though his time is precious. This is the essence of nonchalance, to communicate, without saying a word, that you do not need anyone's validation, and that indifference turns ordinary men into figures of intrigue, detachment as a source of authority. Machiavelli warned leaders against familiarity. Why? Because familiarity breeds contempt. When people believe they own your attention, they stop valuing it. This is why kings surrounded themselves with ceremony, why generals appeared rarely, and why true power has always been cloaked in distance. Nonchalance works the same way in modern life. By not rushing to explain, to please, or to seek approval, you create a natural barrier around yourself. That barrier makes people treat you differently. They watch their words more carefully. They fight for your attention. They fear losing their access to you. Nonchalance doesn't only inspire respect, it inspires caution. And in a world of constant noise, those who inspire caution stand above the crowd. The hidden cost of availability. You might be thinking, but isn't it good to be available, to show I care? Here is the harsh truth. Care shown too cheaply is not care. It is weakness. Machiavelli would say, if you are too easily reached, too easily persuaded, or too easily flattered, you give away your crown. You are no longer a ruler of your own life. You are ruled by others. Availability kills mystique. It kills authority. It kills respect. The man who is everywhere, for everyone, is valued by no one. The man who chooses carefully where he gives his presence, that is the man whose presence matters. Practical ways to show nonchalance. So how do you use this principle without becoming cold or arrogant? Pause before you respond. Do not rush to fill silence online or in person. A delayed response signals control. Speak less, but with certainty. A single calm sentence often carries more authority than a flood of words. Protect your time. Do not let anyone assume you are endlessly available. If you value your own time, others will too. Detach from outcomes. Whether you win or lose, stay steady. When others see that nothing shakes you, they will see true power. Part 3. Becoming nonchalant from the inside out. We've seen how nonchalance bends others, how it draws respect and attention like gravity. But here's the secret. True nonchalance is not performance. You can pretend to be indifferent for a day, maybe a week, but eventually the cracks will show if, deep down, you are desperate for approval. To wield this trait as true power, you must become nonchalant internally. It must be your natural state. Only then can you sustain it. without effort, without fear of being exposed. The root of nonchalance, self-sufficiency. Machiavelli wrote that a wise prince should build his power on foundations he controls, not on the shifting loyalty of others. In your own life, the same rule applies. If your sense of worth depends on how others treat you, you are weak. You are at their mercy. Nonchalance begins with this realization: I am enough, even if no one claps, even if no one cares. When you stop needing permission to exist with confidence, people can sense it. You become untouchable. Discipline in detachment. Nonchalance doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean laziness or coldness. It means you refuse to be ruled by impulses. Someone insults you, you don't explode. You stay calm, and your composure makes them look small. Someone ignores you, you don't chase. You let them feel the silence, and suddenly they come back. Opportunities pass by. You don't crumble, you keep moving, knowing another door will open. This is the discipline of detachment. Nothing controls you except your own will. And in a world of constant overreaction, the man who does not flinch becomes larger than life. The energy of stillness. Think of the lion. He does not pace nervously. He rests, relaxed, almost indifferent. But when he moves, the entire savannah trembles. That is the energy of nonchalance. Stillness until action is necessary. Calmness that carries more weight than noise. Machiavelli admired rulers who appeared unshaken even in chaos. Because when the leader is steady, the people follow. In your own life, your calm is contagious. People will gather around you because your energy gives them certainty. They feel safer, stronger, more alive in your presence. And all of it begins with being nonchalant. Why pretenders always fail. Many try to act nonchalant. They delay replies on purpose. They fake disinterest. They mask insecurity with arrogance. But people sense fakeness. It's like perfume sprayed over rot. Eventually the smell comes through. True nonchalance isn't an act. It's a byproduct of building real confidence. You cultivate skills, discipline, and values so strong that you don't need external applause. When you live like that, your indifference is real, and that authenticity is magnetic. Steps to internalize nonchalance: master solitude. Learn to enjoy being alone without craving validation. Detach from outcomes. Care about the effort, not about how people respond. Refine your craft. Build competence so your worth is undeniable, even if unspoken. Control your emotions. Respond, never react. Every reaction should feel chosen, not forced. Guard your attention. Don't give your energy to every distraction or demand. This isn't easy, but when practiced daily, you'll notice a shift. Less anxiety, more presence, and a steady aura others can't explain. The reward of true nonchalance. Here's what happens once you master this. People chase you without you asking. Your words carry more weight than endless explanations. You stop fearing rejection because rejection cannot touch your core. Respect flows toward you, not because you begged for it, but because you embodied it. This is why nonchalance is the most powerful trait of the truly confident. It frees you from neediness and makes you magnetic without effort. Machiavelli would remind us, power belongs not to the loudest, but to the calmest. Not to the man who begs, but to the man who withholds. Not to the desperate, but to the nonchalant. So the next time you feel the urge to over-explain, to chase, to prove yourself, pause. Remember, indifference is power, silence is strategy. Nonchalance is the mark of the truly confident. And if this video gave you insight, if it shifted even a piece of your thinking, then don't forget, like, subscribe, and join us here, where timeless wisdom meets modern power. Because this is only the beginning.